Hello everyone. Ripple is a trashy company, and XRP is not crypto. But there is so much more to this story, like there always is. Well, the case, it is happening, the pre-trial has been set, and as we can see from the court filing. And before we start, I ask you to subscribe to my channel so you do not miss new extremely interesting videos. And give me a like, of course. This pre-trial conference takes place on February 22nd. So what is going to happen here? At the pretrial conference, the lawyers usually appear at this hearing before a judge without their clients and try to agree on undisputed facts or points of law. Also, the judge and the lawyers will review the evidence and try to clarify the issues in dispute. If the case is not settled here pre-trial, the court will set a date for the trial. So there's another opportunity for Ripple to settle. Yes, if you didn't know, Brad Garlinghouse and those involved had a chance to settle and make this go away. December 22nd, Brad put out a blog post titled "The Sex Attack on Crypto in the United States," and he said Chris and I had the option to settle separately. We could do that, and it would all be behind us. Not happening. That's how confident Chris and I are that we are right. We will aggressively fight and prove our case through this case. We will get clear rules of the road for the industry here in the US. We are not only on the right side of the law, but we will be on the right side of history. All I gotta say is Badges trying to stick a middle finger to the SEC is not gonna work. Many tried to do it in the 80s, 90s, and even 2000s with Wall St. They failed. You will too. So, in my opinion, it would be good to settle and not get laws written that have a really good chance of hurting the industry for good. But because you think you're right, you want to take that chance. There has to be more to this story. Well, there sure is, and we gotta dive into the SEC actual complaint to find what that is. And it comes in the section tolling agreements. So first, what is a tolling agreement? Well, it's a legal tool of which entities like XRP can use, businesses and enterprises, to delay a lawsuit to possibly come to an agreement before the lawsuit is filed. And as we can see, the tolling agreements went from April 1, 2019, all the way to December 24, 2020. So for 1.5 years, Ripple has known about this and has been delaying it, but not settling. It sounds like XRP was a part of the group who got hit in 2019, but they didn't settle, while the others did stop.
Customers. And so we're seeing more momentum than we've ever had around using XRP to move this liquidity around the world. And so we couldn't really be happier about how that has played out in a world where there's still a lot, I think, of FUD, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt about what's going on in crypto. This is a real use case solving a real problem for real customers.
Okay, so which banks right now are actually using Ripple?
Well, we have signed up about over 200 banks around the world. Some of those banks just use our software to do that debit and credit, fiat to fiat, and some of them are using XRP in those flows. We have banks like Santander that we've been working with for years and are moving lots of volume through the Ripple's technology. And then, as I mentioned earlier, payment providers like MoneyGram or RIA or Asimov that are using XRP actually to move that liquidity and really reducing their costs and improving the product.
Just in terms of the transactions, though, that you're seeing using Ripple, what proportion of those actually use XRP versus direct, and just where do you see that ratio going? I'm just trying to get a sense of sort of how much XRP itself is actually used as part of the Ripple platform.
So I would say the order of magnitude, the way to think about it, is similar to the proportion of customers. So if we've got, I don't know, a couple hundred customers we have launched, 10 to 15 of them we've talked about using XRP. I would use that ratio as the total ratio between what's happening with Ripple's technology overall.
XRP, like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, has been volatile. I asked Brad if the message to investors is don't use XRP to speculate.
People are going to speculate on different asset classes. People speculate on gold, currencies. You name it, people are going to speculate. When we think about this, and what I've said very publicly is I think the long-term value of any digital asset is going to be derived from the utility it delivers. There is a lot of hype in the crypto market space. We've seen that even recently. A lot of attention around what's going on with Libra and Facebook's announcement around Libra. Today, that's just a white paper.
Bring in Alex Holmes. He is the chair and CEO of MoneyGram. Alex, look, welcome to the program. We really like to have people on the show who are not taking advantage, but I would say a new kind of company that benefits from this new economy. Are your transactions up a lot at MoneyGram?
Yes, sir, they are. As a matter of fact, it's been quite a transition for this company over the last couple of years. We have seen a tremendous surge in digital transactions over the last 2 years, and really an incredible surge over the last quarter since the pandemic really set in. 106% growth last quarter in digital transactions, and about 27% of our total company transactions. So definitely have seen a tremendous increase as consumers, look for coronavirus safe ways to send and receive money.
I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy. I like to write checks. Are my days as a check writer numbered?
My standing joke on that is I think you can continue to write checks, but the people in line behind you probably aren't going to appreciate it very much. But yeah, I think they probably are, and I think Corona is definitely another step towards that digitization. I think contactless payments, online digital payments, mobile type devices will continue to see an increase in utilization as we go forward all over the world, not just here in the U.S.
How long before we see the end of cash, notes and coins?
Yeah, that question's been out there for forever. I will tell you, cash still is the predominant form of payments anywhere in the world. It is, by far the most ubiquitous and liquid for anybody in a market anywhere in the world. That being said, I think the growth in digital has been absolutely tremendous. The World Bank, which is probably the foremost expert in terms of remittances and cross-border payments, says that this market will be 50% digital by 2022, and that was before the virus. So I certainly think that there will continue to be pressure on cash, but I think it will be around for quite a long time.
MoneyGram, well positioned. Chair and CEO Alex Holmes joins us. Thanks very much, Alex. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So how can we take payments global? So we've talked a little bit about SEPA today. Fedor has some APIs that tap into that. So wouldn't it be cool if you had euros in any bank account, say like Deutsche or Credit Suisse, and you could actually send those euros to another account within SEPA, which is pretty fast clearing, but have that money converted into dollars, yen, or whatever other currency is actively trading on the Ripple network? That would be pretty freaking cool. So how are we going to do this? Well, Fedor's got some pretty cool APIs. Ripple also has some APIs, so maybe we can put them together to create this experience. That would be awesome. Yeah. So Patrick already alluded to this, but I'll just reiterate, even though we're API-rits, we need to respect the rules of the high seas of finance, including things like KYC and AML. You might have heard of them. Those can be expensive costs for developers to maintain, so I'm happy to see that Fedor is providing those solutions for the innovators in this space. So let's talk about the links in the chain a little bit to actually make a cross-currency transaction happen. Before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about what a Ripple gateway is. So Fedor is actually acting as a Ripple gateway after their integration. And what that means is that they are holding customer deposits in euros, and if a customer wants to transfer that money through Ripple, they can represent that euro balance on Ripple and send it through. So you can think of a gateway as kind of like a pseudo bank, right? They take in a deposit and they issue you a balance. So we have actors on the Ripple network today that aren't even actually traditional banks that are doing this type of thing. SnapSwap was referenced, and that's going to be a partner of Fedor for settling in US dollars. So gateways sync external payments with corresponding Ripple transactions. Ripple Labs has created a software framework called Gateway D that it can be integrated with external payment systems. So you can write custom code that connects to Gateway D so that those payments are mirrored in real time onto Ripple. So the features of this middleware, things like deposits and withdrawals, you can issue currency, you can do robust payments that are sent through to Ripple, and you can monitor for incoming payments so that you can take corresponding action on the outbound path as well as the inbound path. So yeah, that's a Ripple gateway. So let's talk about links to the transaction chain, right? So if we wanted to take euros and turn them into US dollars with Ripple in the middle, you could use Fedor APIs to initiate a SEPA transaction. You could then have a gateway D set up to monitor for that transaction. Once it actually confirms the receipt of those euros, it can mirror a corresponding payment onto Ripple and send it through into a different currency. So that's the last piece of the chain.